Welcome to the Native Honor Hours.
Wanda,
We may
are we back?
actually be on.
Can you hear us, see us? It's probably a better thing if they didn't. No, we were sitting there counting. It's been, 69, 70, 80 days since we've last been on?
Was our last shows for the film festival? Because
I don't know.
after the film festival, I pretty much just died.
Yeah, it was.
I was done.
We might have done
We had a
one.
real nice honoring.
We did.
Yeah. How was your Happy New Year? Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year to those of you just waking up, just sobering up. Those of you on Rosebud,
Old man, this
Just-
year I'm just hitting you.
just realizing it's 2014. Happy New Year.
That's okay, because the Omahas haven't figured it out yet.
See how long it took her? How long it took her to hit me?
I was trying to think of all my Omaha friends that might be listening.
Ain't none. You don't have any
We
friends.
don't have any Omaha friends.
All right, well, we're back on after.
My own girl turned on me over here. My own
the-
friend Cassie just turned on me.
The peanut,
So bad for
the
that.
peanut gallery's turned on you.
No more cheese puffs for you. Clearly, you can't handle it. Hey,
no.
me and Cassie had a really interesting event happen to us.
Well, I wouldn't call a bond hearing an interesting event.
If I even knew what that was, I'd probably be mad at you.
Of course, you know what that means. You've been to numerous ones.
Only for my kids. Actually, only one of my children who's not listening, so I'm
All
okay.
right, so you wanna
You don't
fill
want to
them
hear
up?
what me and Cassie's interesting experience was?
What's you and Cassie's?
For the Circle of Grandmothers, every year we take the grandmothers and we go out and have the big buffet at the Horseshoe Casino, and then we gamble, and I never win anything,
I wasn't there with you,
including this year.
Sandy.
Cassie has never been, but the rest of us grandmothers go, and I never win anything. So Cassie and Gretchen said, let's go out and do a little gambling. I was like, fine, I'll come, but I'll never win anything. So I sit down at the video slot machines and accidentally hit that button that says max bet.
Accidentally, Kenny.
Oh, yeah, I don't max bet.
Accident.
I take $20. When I lose my $20, Cindy's going home. And so I always hit just the one bet, but I hit the wrong button, and it came up a full house. I won $165, cashed my ticket out, went looking for the girls and quit. So then I find Gretchen. Gretchen won $225.
It's a max button too.
Won $225,
Let that be a lesson to you, Kenny.
and
If you're
then we
gonna
went,
gamble, max it out.
max
man.
it out.
Don't,
And
don't worry about
then-
them penny slots.
Our little
Max it out,
Cassie
man.
won 75. We had ourselves a heck of a time. We were there a whole hour and a half
You know that reminds
because we
me.
win and quit.
Reminds me when I was going to. Actually, I was coming back on a business trip from a friend of mine. We were going out to Alco, Nevada.
Mhm.
We were actually helping them put together a court system, and we were coming back, and it was early in the morning, and we stopped at this one casino in Nevada, a small little place, and we were there for the breakfast buffet. It was like $1.99 breakfast buffet.
I bet it was good.
I know, but we went there, and my friend, he walks in and said, "Nah, I just got like a couple quarters." He said, you got breakfast?" I said, "Yeah, I'll buy breakfast." So we walk in there, and he first slot machine he sees, he puts in all of his quarters, like 3 or 4 quarters he has, puts them in, and hits the, whatever it is, bells will go off. He wins like $700.
Did you make him buy breakfast?
Oh yeah, and I said, just on one push, I said, "You're buying breakfast." So instead of just a buffet, we had the steak and eggs too.
I tell you what, I don't know what it is about a buffet that makes Indian people so happy, but you give us a buffet and it's hello Diddy.
And that's how you win at a casino.
Yep.
That's how you win, Kenny. Go to the buffet. Don't hit the salad bar.
No.
Go right for the meats. Don't.
Oh. And you know, you would
Otherwise,
be
you
surprised.
lose.
Oh, you would be
If you hit the
surprised.
salad bar, you lose. You got to go for the meats, man. Just saying. If they have crab legs, prime rib, you just park yourself in front of them, and that's it. So now we've told our gambling stories.
Yeah. That was one of the fun things we did on the break. This was a much needed break for me. I don't know about you, but
Oh, I needed to get away.
Well, we had to come back to work January 2nd.
I went out to Utah to see
I
my
know, what
see all my
fun.
granddaughter.
Got pictures?
Yeah, we do, somewhere floating around on Facebook somewhere, but we had to come back. But we started another semester. We're broadcasting from the campus of the University of Nebraska at Omaha.
Wait, why are tornado sirens on? Someone
hear
just
any
announced
tornado
on
sirens.
Facebook that there's tornado sirens. You're
don't hear
slow.
them.
I'm going to have to leave you. Cassie, run.
I don't hear them. But we're in the Omaha room at the Milo Bale Student Center.
Yes, we are. The beautiful Omaha room.
Beautiful Omaha room. I wish you can see it, but you can't.
I'd be interested.
No, we don't want to. The cameras have to be focused on us. But we're happy.
Yeah. the
Are we
pictures have
happy to
always
be
been there.
back?
We're happy to be back.
Okay, I guess we're happy to be back. It's been a while, and because there was some debate as to whether we were going to continue to do this.
Because you're boring.
Well, I'm not bored. It's just that
No, I said you are boring.
I'm boring.
People
Yes,
want
I'm-
me to continue on.
I'm-
Me and Cassie are
I'm boring.
fun.
And apparently that's reflective in our numbers. But then Kenny told me that we have fairly decent numbers.
We have, 500.
We have like
500?
total views in like 3 years.
I'll take
So
it.
that averages about, like I was saying, about four or five, faithful listeners.
How many we got right now?
I'll take it.
We don't have any listeners right now.
Hey, I'm listening.
Oh no, Wanda is out there. Wanda and my daughter.
on my cell phone.
Oh yeah, and Cassie who's sitting. No, Kizzy. We have Kizzy and Cassie, who are sitting in a peanut gallery. She's listening, so technically she's a listener and a viewer. Do we have an app?
You know what? People
need
don't
an app.
believe we were coming back because we always said we were going to be on, then we
No,
didn't.
I have to tell you this
So
story.
we have to promise we're going to be every week, right as rain, 3 to 4
I have
p.m.
to tell you the story. That somewhat convinced me to come back.
every week.
Yes.
And if one of us can't make it, we'll have one of you two sit in.
We got it.
No, so here's
Kizzy, you can hit him if you want.
here's my story to tell you why I was somewhat convinced. No, I don't know if I'm really convinced because I'm still trying to convince myself.
Oh, we'll do it
No,
without
I
you.
had a lady up on the res that wanted to talk about some legal issues, and so I go meet with her, and she says yeah, I enjoy listening to your show. I said, you and the other one, you guys just make fun of each other all the time. Says, and that's really funny. And yeah, I listen. I'm like, really? You listen to the show? He says, yeah, you guys come on Thursday afternoons. There wasn't anything to listen to up on the res.
What I
So-
can't believe is they get this.
So this is my community service, I guess, to
You know
to-
what I'm
to
doing?
one or
I'm looking up
two
native radio
listeners.
shows on Google and see if we show up. Native radio.
Does it go higher? I don't know. This is the golden,
That's the goal.
the gold one. For the gold standard of announcers. No, so we're back, and I guess we have to we're making a commitment. Are we really making?
We're not even on the first page of the Google native radio shows.
Yeah, I know. We need to.
We
work
need to
on
get
it.
up there.
We need.
We need
so
to Google ourselves 50 times a day.
Our five faithful listeners to help us get going.
Please Google us.
Google, and not only Google, but share on Facebook with your. And they're like, why would you want to listen? I don't know. You know what we need to do? We need to get a bag of
Wait a minute,
M&Ms.
though. You know how when you type something in, it gives you suggestions? I typed in Native Honor, and it says Native Honor Hours. So we've been Googled enough that they're, wow.
So what I'm saying is, if we get a bag of M&Ms and watch Cindy, and if she falls, that's like, we put that on YouTube.
I'm not even speaking anymore. I'm just going to thump him every once in a while. Boom.
You can't.
This is
thump
my
me
mother
in the
thump.
head.
I can thump you wherever I want to thump you. I'm not scared of your
Dear,
wife
can she
anymore.
pump- can she pump me in the head?
I might be able to run faster
No,
than
look
Monica.
at you. Oh, you see that look she gave you?
You're gonna come thump you
I
back,
thumped
huh?
him.
No, you can't thump me in the head.
I'll hit you with something.
So what do we have? We got anything on the show today? You apparently prepared for today.
Hey, we have a blog,
Apparently not. She's
Native
not.
Honor Hours blog spot. We do.
Ooh, who started that?
My, see, we've had that for years.
I didn't know that. I might
That's
have
where we
done
put the radio
something.
shows.
Oh, that's where we put the radio shows?
Kenny, it's hopeless. Why did we come back?
Oh,
Because our 5 listeners.
now I get, oh, the pictures from from when we were downstairs in the, oh.
You know, I quit. I give up, Kenny.
Ah.
All kinds of stuff.
And then she wonders why, we even do this.
Oh, ah.
All right, well, speaking of what we've been doing, we also had an honoring. We were down on honorees this year.
I'm telling you, it's, a lot of that is because of the new federal ruling of 6-year financial aid. It's killing the miners. It's killing everybody's miners. It's hurting them. It's hurting
But
them.
we had, we've got a stellar crew coming. Kenny, you graduating this year?
I'm never graduating.
You know what? That's good. Just stick around here.
Stick around, Kenny.
No,
Somebody is
we'll-
graduating.
We'll promise to feed you.
Me too, Kizzy.
Kids, you graduating this year?
Yes, sir.
What are you gonna do?
Go get my master's.
In what?
Awesomeness. And probably communication. I wish we had a Native American Studies.
Use me as a reference. I'm
Hey, Chris Chan, we have a brand new listener. Willow.
Oh, that's, here's what we would like to say. Congratulations to one of our own family members, Chris Channel, and his girl, Charmaine, had the most beautiful baby. I hate to say it, she looks like
I
Charmaine.
was gonna say, fortunately, the baby takes after Charmaine.
Oh, little baby chin.
Uh-oh.
Her
So-
name is Willow Rose.
Oh,
Willow Rose.
Oh, shout out to Willow Rose.
Watch, when Cindy's voice comes on, the baby will start crying.
Here's what I would like to say. Who would be dumb enough to FaceTime me during, it's my idiot daughter. We're gonna put her on the air and tell her that you're an idiot. Tell her. When she answers,
not
tell her
gonna
she's
tell
an
her
idiot
she's
for
an idiot.
FaceTiming her mother while she's on her radio
If anything, I'm saying the leaf doesn't fall far from the tree.
show. Ooh, good time for a little pripping.
She doesn't get that, does she?
Unfortunately, the acorn does not fall from
Well,
the tree.
whatever.
Maybe she thinks she's looking on the radio.
So we're gonna talk about what we have coming up.
What do we?
Well, I don't even know.
We have.
Any? We got some. Well, as always, we have great stuff planned.
What?
We're working on it. Remember?
What? I'm just playing with you.
Involving some very famous people.
I think we're only going to do stuff first semester.
Don't
from
you
now on.
remember anything?
I'm just not at liberty to divulge any information.
Shall we
until
divulge
you said,
it, or should
you
we wait till
divulge.
it's more?
Hey, Frankie's listening. I love you,
It
Frankie.
involves big cheese people. We put on some big cheese events here.
I know,
don't we?
but don't you think we ought to wait until we have it down in stone before we get anybody excited?
We'll wait because we don't want to.
Just know something big is coming up. Me and Ed are going to have a karaoke night, and we're going to lead the community in song.
Oh no, we thought we'd come up with this. We come, Cassie. We're gonna come up with this senior night dancing. Where you don't have to leave your chair.
Yeah.
You don't have to leave your chair.
You can see because we were at the ballroom over there. The Mav production had some
Free
music playing
food.
on.
So, of course, me and Ed were the first
Yeah, we
ones
was
up
all
there.
over that. And they had Jackson 5 came on, old school. We was sitting there.
And then a little disco.
So we were thinking, yeah, we can dance so long as we're sitting in a chair.
It'd be kind of hard to do the bump.
You get us upright, man, we tip over.
Monica, did you and Ed do the bump?
She said no comment.
I used to, my ex-husband was 6'4", and we did the bump. I imagine it was quite comical to see, because he would bump me somewhere around here, and I'd be bumping him in the knees.
We were just freshmen back then.
How much older than you am I?
You're about 10 years older than me.
Because I was.
Isn't that evident?
I was in college when the bump was big. In fact, I was married when we did the bump. We did the bump. Gonna have some bump. That's not the song, is it?
No.
What is that song?
I believe that was funk.
Funk, bump, they're the same.
Yeah.
It
We're
leads
funky
to the
bumpers.
same
You
thing.
can't have bump without funk.
See?
Yeah.
And remember YMCA?
No.
Oh, no.
Those tiny little YMCA, I could see Ed with his tiny little YMCA arms.
All right.
That's when we
Were
drank
we actually gonna
fancy
do anything?
cocktails. For what?
For like the show.
I think we
I thought you had like topics and
I do.
who was actually gonna do a format this year.
Lightfoot has his own page. Liking it, ladies.
No, is that
Lightfoot has his own change.
Birmingham guy or what?
No, that's
Oh, does it-
Lightfoot. That's
anymore?
Indian in a cupboard. He does here, Lightfoot,
His
on
name is Gary
Facebook.
Davis.
No.
Goes by Gary Davis.
Oh my gosh, he's a rapper?
We only have a half hour
Okay,
left.
we'd like to talk, well, could we explain why we'll go a little long today because one of us had some issues. We won't, we won't blame anybody, but it's the white boy.
That looks like Chris Channel.
It's the white boy in the cupboard.
Doesn't that look like Chris Channel?
Okay, that does kind of look like Channel.
Hey, it
See?
does.
That does. Channel
Chrissy,
doing a movie?
Hey, I'm
you know what?
complimenting you,
Hey, do you
Chris.
know Chris Channel's training right now for the
He's
Iron
been training
Man?
for the Iron Man for like 5 years, ever since I've known him.
Don't you pick on my,
I'm just saying.
Oh. don't you pick on my Chrissy channel?
Show him that we found a picture of him.
Actually, this is Lightfoot.
I thought we had better technological capabilities. We can just stream it onto the. It'll be delayed like 5. I think we've seen it enough.
Tilt it a little bit. There you go.
That's Chris Channel. For those of you that don't recognize that picture, and
Otherwise known as Gary Davis.
otherwise known as Gary Farmer.
AKA Willow.
I believe that was Gary Farmer about 20
This
years
was
ago.
him in some movie called Cull the Conqueror.
Oh, I remember Call the Conqueror.
I have no clue, Kizzy.
Me
Who
neither.
that
It
was.
was like a low budget.
You know what though? We saw Lightfoot at the NCAI conference, and he's slightly older than this.
Just a little.
He doesn't look like that
his pictures,
anymore.
no, he does not.
He's
You know who
aged.
does, and not to be mean or anything, because we all age, and I don't look as beautiful as I used to. I'm still pretty hot,
Oh, Pashon.
but not as beautiful as I used to. We were sitting watching at our film festival, which we're doing again next year. Yes, we promise we will have another film festival, Native Heritage Month. We're just waiting for the dates, and we're going to get the information out way early this year. We're going to have a little more say in what's played. Personally, what I would like to see is real children's movies. You know, I know those children's movies were good, but the kids don't want to read subtitles. Most of them can't read. So we're going to have a little more input this year, so if
As soon as we
anybody,
pay off the rest of our bills.
hey, we're going to be selling popcorn till 2015.
How come we're not selling popcorn here?
Kenny won't buy it. You give him food.
That's right. Anyway, what were you
Kizzy's
going to
the only
say?
one who might have
You
some
were going
cash
to say something.
about our fabulous film festival.
No, you're going to say something else.
We went to the film
All
festival.
about our length of time.
No, you're going to talk about somebody in the film, I think, how they aged.
Oh,
See?
so we're all watching the film, and someone says, "That's what's his name, Grant? What's his first name?
Gary.
Rodney.
That's Rodney Grant." We were all like, "No." We looked at him again. We were like, "No, that's not Rodney Grant." Rodney Grant has changed a lot as he's aged. I didn't recognize him in that movie at all. Did you recognize
did.
him? You recognized him right
I
away?
did. I said, that looks like Brother Rodney up there, man.
But no, I didn't recognize him. So some of us,
It was me.
you know what?
It was me.
I saw your pictures when you were in high school. You have aged well.
I what?
You have aged well. You don't look much different than you did, except for the mullet and the big glasses. Otherwise, you're the same.
My head's gotten bigger.
No, your head was always
Was
big.
it that big in high school,
With
too?
you know what? What made it look smaller was the quart-sized glasses
And it was the big
that we
hair.
all wore. We
I
all
had the
wore.
big hair.
He had a mullet.
No, it was the big, the big feathered, it was
Did
like
you
the,
blow dry?
no, it was like the Freddie Prinze haircut.
Tony Orlando.
You remember? Yeah, Tony Orlando and Freddie
Tornio
Prinze.
knock 3 times on the ceiling if you want me. Twice on the pipes
So that's-
if the answer is no.
That's the kind of hair I had back then, Kenny.
Did you blow dry it and stuff?
I did.
Product?
No product.
Oh, so that was natural? That was a natural quaff?
It was just like this.
You
and-
know, that must not be the Indian in you, because when
That's a Mexican in me.
Yeah, because when I was in college, does anybody remember the Farrah Fawcett hair? The flow.
So bad.
I wanted it so bad. I tried rollers, I tried everything. Indian hair does not want to Farrah, so I had to just give it up and go share.
I tried to have the ducktail.
Oh, see,
Anyway.
no. And in the 80s, big hair.
No wonder
I
no
couldn't
one
do big
listens
hair.
to us.
Hey, people out there are relating.
No, we don't talk about
How many
squat
Indian
on
women?
this show.
How many Indian women could do big hair? I'd love to hear it on Facebook. If you could rock
You
big
know
hair,
what?
let me
That's
know.
one thing. You're right. I've never seen Indian women wear beehives.
Yeah, because we can't rock. Our hair just will. This is what our hair will do.
It gets too
Right here.
But
greasy.
not even the
No.
blowouts, right?
No,
You can't,
this-
because my hair will just go straight.
Yep, everybody's hair straight.
Oh, did anybody in their life have to have a Tony Home perm? My mother used to try and make my hair curly with those Tony Home perms.
Why did we even come back on the
Ooh,
air?
Those were
Kenny?
bad. Those were
About
bad.
hairstyles, fair.
Yeah, talk about 70s.
Yes, we're talking about
Hairstyles.
what
And
people
you know what?
identify
For
with.
African Americans, perm means something completely different.
Straightening. I didn't know that. But you know what I remember the most from the 60s? The big 60s, 70s, the big fros with the power fist pick. Yep, big. Always had to have the power pick in the back. And it was okay till you had to sit behind one of them in class.
Can you give me a
Somebody with a
sandwich?
big
I'm
fro
gonna eat while
sitting in
she's
front
sitting
of
here
you in
going,
class,
"Oh,
you're not seeing anything? But the, man, I loved a fro. Yes, no, Cassie.
Shall we actually have some substance on here?
Well, we can't talk about anything because she's got all the information. You and I are the humor. We're the color. She's the information.
All
What are you
right.
saying, Cindy?
I'm saying
Cassie
me and
got-
Ed, me and
Cassie's
Ed
so-
are color.
Cassie's so frustrated. Says, let me
We're
let me
color.
do some of substance on here.
They bring the laughter.
I'm the substance part.
Well, if you're going to be snotty, I'm not letting you on.
I
Keep
pay to
talking.
watch you guys fight.
We don't fight.
Cassie, you want to do something?
Cassie says, knock it off, Cindy, and I say, okay.
All right, we're gonna do.
Hey,
Cassie's
shout
turn.
out to the grandmothers. Hi, Brenda. Glad you're listening.
Oh, hi, Brenda.
Let me get up.
Hi, Brenda. Who else? Does this show who's on here? Is Gretchen on here? Wanda? Kizzy's on here? Yeah. Hi.
Cassie, you're on there.
Oh. Okay, it's gonna be short and sweet today. This is Cassie's Corner. Okay, first thing coming up is Saturday is our Circle of Grandmothers meeting, 11 a.m. We will have a special guest, Kim Thomas from CASA, and that stands for Court Appointed Special Advocates. She is going to come and talk to our group. Next on the agenda is the NICE OPS Powwow on January 25th. It's a Saturday, and it'll be at South High School gym from 1 to 5. So come out and powwow with everybody.
Please do. Fun day.
Yes, fun day. Then, let me see. Wanda wanted to make sure that we talked a little bit about the transitional show, art show at Dixie Quicks in Council Bluffs. And it's featuring the artwork of Steve Tamayo and Donnell Keeler.
What tribe are those gentlemen from?
Steve, you would,
Steve is a Sichambee Lakota,
okay.
and I believe
And now it's Santee Sioux, right. So, and their work will be featured through today through Saturday, February the 1st. And it is closed on Mondays, so. And let me see what else is going on. Oh, on February 2nd at 1:30, Melanie Sleeper is having her 40th birthday, and she's inviting people to come out to celebrate with a hand game and dinner. And that's going to be at Power Landing. So that's on February 2nd at 1:30. It's a Sunday, and it's for Melanie Sleeper's birthday. And the last thing I have is our Native Book Club will be meeting next month on February 19th, and we're going to, our book for that month is Motorcycles and Sweetgrass, and it's a trickster story, and you guys will love it if you read it. and it's also kind of like a mystery. So if you want any more information, I can give you more information about that. And that's all I got for this week. Ciao. Bye.
You know, even if you don't go to the book club, that was my best book of 2013, Motorcycles in Sweetgrass. It's by a Canadian author, Drew Hayden Taylor. It's
You know,
the
I asked
it's the
that
best
today.
treatment of Trickster I've ever seen.
Today in class, I asked Cassie, is she buy my next book? And she said, no. I'll check it out. I'll check it out and read it.
We're poor old women
What good
on a
does that
fixed
do me?
incoming.
I don't know who is that.
He wants a letter of recommendation. It's not done
Okay.
yet.
Anyway, so it's like, oh yeah, they'll buy somebody else's book, but not mine.
Gretchen said she'd buy it.
Well, yeah, Gretchen.
Are you writing another one?
Yeah, I'm always writing.
Your life story?
Yeah. So, but,
Could we release it straight to
shall we
paperback?
Should we actually talk about the stuff that we're gonna do?
Yeah, talk away, bro. I'm listening.
Oh no, we have some things in the works, planned, and it involves bringing in some mighty fine people here on campus.
Chris Channel, if there was some way we could put it on our Facebook, Chris Channel sent a picture of his grandma attempting a beehive. It's an Indian attempt at a beehive.
No, that's just wind blowing somebody's head.
I know, that's the Indian attempt at a beehive.
That's not a beehive.
So what do we have coming up that's in stone?
We're gonna be on. It's kind of on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of on paper right now. It's not, but it involves some fairly big talent, and it hopefully we'll be able to pull something off in February and March.
Dun, 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 dun. What might it be?
You know, we always do big stuff.
Here's what we're thinking, but don't hold us against it if it doesn't happen.
Well, who we kid? No one's listening.
Yes, there are. People are, you know what? Quit saying that. People are
should.
listening. Why would people listen if you keep saying nobody listens? Here's what I think. I think everybody's listening.
Okay, shall we say, I'll just say it involves, activities possibly with
Potential activities.
with Gary Farmer, Tatanka Means,
I know, the girls
Listen
all
to
went,
that.
hello.
Tatanka Means, and the Thompson twins.
Yes.
Kenny's over there. Kenny's over there looking at me. What about the babes? What about the Indian babes?
Me and Cassie are sitting right here. I don't know what else you could possibly want.
Kenny just spit up a little bit of his sandwich over there. Come on, Kenny, keep it together, man. So, but we're
gonna, you know what? We always do something. You and I cannot, if Ed and I ever had a month where we didn't have to do anything or plan anything, I don't know what we'd do. Here's what generally happens. I'll call him up, or he'll call me up, and he'll say, I got a great idea. Or I'll say, I
Why
got
don't
a
you
great
do it?
idea. And then the other one will go, oh, God, what do I have to do? And then we somehow make it happen. Monica gets involved and does all the work.
yeah, my wife. She's over there. I gotta do all the work.
Monica
And she's
is
over there. I'm not even on the payroll.
Monica is our perpetual popcorn maker from this day forward, because what do we own?
We own a popcorn
Hey, if you need to rent us, if you want to rent us for popcorn machine duty, we can be had.
No, I'm thinking we get a
Should we
booth.
take it to South?
No,
I got a
no,
table.
No, we take it on the powwow circuit, and we sell popcorn. We go to Costco and get a big old jar of pickles, sell them for like $1 a pickle, and pickles and popcorn.
What are you, me, Monica, and Cassie gonna load up your car and head out on the powwow
Our
trail?
minivan, the 3 Ps.
Mm-hmm.
Popcorn, pickles, and Pepsi.
Ooh.
We'll be funding all our activities in the future.
Yeah, that's how we did it this year.
Popcorn, Pepsi.
And you know what? Intertribal Student
Pickles.
Council has enough pop left over from the film festival that every event for the next 10 years will be selling
And she ain't
pop.
lying, Kenny.
No,
10
no.
years.
For
Minimum.
some reason, here's what happened. We thought we were ordering 12 packs because clearly we're not the smartest group in the world. We thought we were ordering 12 packs. What we ordered was cases. So
No, not just little cases. We're talking industrial sized cases.
So we have down in the Office of Multicultural Affair cases. We sold what, 15? So everything that the University of Nebraska at Omaha Native Studies or Multicultural Affairs has, we
Popcorn.
still have candy.
Popcorn,
We're candy, pop, and candy. And if it's a year old, we'll discount. The
I think-
longer we have it, the lower
I
the
think a little while
price
you
is
open
gonna
a
be.
can, open a can, it'll be syrup. Pouring that stuff out of there.
We don't care.
I know, you'll still sell
We'll
it.
still sell that popcorn.
Yeah. But hopefully in the future, we'll be announcing activities involving.
Well, you know what I would like to talk about? You are the forefront, the forerunner of the movement. Things are happening
Of
to
what?
the Washington Redskins and to other
I
anti.
wasn't in the forefront.
You were. You've been nagging about mascots ad nauseum since I met you
Come on, Professor.
10 years ago.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Class.
What's
Yeah.
that?
You have a class about.
You know,
You were
I
the
dare,
forefront.
I dare say that I'm the only class on Indian mascots in the country is taught by,
Eduardo Zindehouse.
Professor Ed.
yeah.
I have a bump in my hair.
Take the class.
That's because no other institution be crazy enough to, oh, okay, class on
No, it's a
Indian
good
mascots?
class.
All right.
You know why it's a good class? Because people, honest to God, do not understand why we're honoring you. Hell, you are.
Right.
You're honoring me? Write me a check for $1,000. Don't call me a
Try
redskin.
getting for that.
Yeah.
Honoring me.
And there was just an article in the paper. They were trying to make some Redskins pork rinds.
Really.
And the patent office will not let them use the name because they will no longer patent names that are racially, what's the word? Offensive,
Derogatory.
derogatory.
It's about time.
Oh, you just know everything, don't you?
I teach the class. Come on, give me that.
Well, it did take the federal government a long time to do that. 'Cause, I mean, come on, Uncle Ben's.
You know what, my guess, do you know what? When,
The man on the box was like.
No, actually, there was another art. If you're talking about mascots,
yeah,
there was another article in Indian Country today about
ladies, we're trying to do a radio show here. Are you having a nice chat?
we're trying to do some educational things here.
About mascots.
Yeah, but I just read an article in Indian Country. It's some guy, he says, well, I wrote a book on Louis Penobscot, Louis Sockalexis. He said the Cleveland Indians ought to retire Chief Wahoo, the big Indian cheesy smile mascot. They'll retire unless they get the permission from the Penobscot tribe. I'm saying why? Why? Yeah, that's exactly my point. So I said, why does how come the Penobscots have a monopoly on determining what, good for the generic term Indian? So he was like, well, because Louis Sockalexis was a Penobscot, and I'm like, nah, that's an idiot thing to say. And I guess on the good news is that Cleveland is their primary mascot, or is not going to be Chief Wahoo. It's going to be the block C. Their hat's just going to be a C on it. Yeah, but they're not going to get rid of it altogether. But they're just going to have a C on their primary hat. But I'm
That's
assuming.
still, so what?
I know.
I mean, that's like saying, you're pretty, go sit in the corner.
Which I'm assuming you never were told that.
Lots of times, unfortunately.
No one had enough guts to tell her that.
Kizzy's my girl. I'm adopting her.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're
So-
my kids.
So that actually, thank you. The year 2013. You know who really got behind that too was the Oneidas, the Oneida tribe.
Here's my question for you. I watched a debate, and first of all, they never have Indians in these debates that are all over the news. It's always white guys debating it, which is kind of upsetting in the first place. But where do they get their numbers? 90% of the Indians think it's okay. What? Where do they get those numbers? What makes them think 90% of Native Americans would think it was okay?
What Indians would be Poland.
I know.
Oh yeah, Billy Mills came out against it. Is that
Good
one
for
you're talking
Billy.
about?
Hey, Billy
Good for
Mills.
Billy Mills.
No, and that all,
But what are
that,
they, can they lie about those numbers? And how do they get away with it? 90% of the natives, oh,
Yeah,
look at me. Oh, my God.
we ought to frame that picture.
Awesome. She was like,
She's like this, Kenny. We should frame that.
What
No.
are you laughing at?
that's one for the blog.
No, the year 2013 was,
Oh, you're evil, Zend. Oh.
that's what you look like, didn't she?
Kenny laughing away. I hope you're all having a good time at my expense, because I'm a little hurt.
You know what? That's why we do this. If we can't make fun of you, there's no
I can't
point.
watch myself or I would quit this show. Look at you laughing at me, pointing.
But 2013 was the year where it finally picked up some momentum in terms of, nationwide. It wasn't just, in years past, it was, there were they would tell guys like me, shut up, you just, you don't know what you're talking about. But it really did take on a little bit of,
President Obama said
not a
something
woman.
about it too.
well, I was disappointed because he just said he would, if he owned it,
He's
he
the
would-
president of the United
he
States.
would
What can he say?
he could have said, knock it off.
No.
Yeah, he could have.
No. No president would have. No
Yeah, he
president
would.
would have. Mm-mm.
I thought he was.
Said was all right.
I did
Oh,
too.
if I was the owner,
And
I would
you know what? Here's
consider
the deal. Here's the deal.
changing it.
President Obama could say the best thing in the world. Ed doesn't like him, so he's never gonna like anything Obama says. I mean, realistically.
That's not true.
Every time that Tea Party guy opens his mouth, I shut my ears too. You know,
When
I
have I ever
understand.
said Tea Party? I have specifically said,
Let's not do politics.
that's what I've said because of her.
Yeah, but I was explaining
No.
why.
See-
President Obama could cure cancer, find free education for every child in America, and do whatever, and you still wouldn't like him because you don't like him. I was the same about Bush.
No,
Bush
that-
could have cured cancer. I'd been like, somebody else did it for him.
That's not true. But back to my point,
George can't even read. Somebody had to do it. See, that would have been me.
see, maybe we should, but back to my point about the year 2013, it finally got some momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And not only was it Billy Mills, but the Schimmel
Sisters.
Schimmel sisters, Shoney. So it became okay because, well, Billy Mills said, or because the Oneidas, or because Ed Zendejas said it. It's okay now.
Yeah.
It's just a joke.
I know. No, hey, I'm with you. You were the
You know,
forerunner.
so-
When you're right, you're right.
So
Twice a year, you are right.
So it gained some momentum, and I maybe 2014 will be
I have a question.
the year.
I know this is going to be a dumb question before I even ask it, so don't even give me the look like you're an idiot.
I expect you to say dumb things.
Do
so
they
it's not
have
gonna
Do they
surprise
have
me.
teams in Canada?
Of course they do.
Do they have mascots?
I'm sure they do.
Right.
Yeah,
How come we've never heard nothing about it?
because we just don't pay attention to Canada.
Okay.
And none of them, to my knowledge, are native based, right? They're the Maple Leaves.
Okay, so
the
they're-
Canucks,
okay.
and-
Actually,
What's a
I've been
Canuck?
I've been told the Canuck is a derogatory term for a white guy.
Oh, I like that.
No,
one
so
then.
and that's how come that's been actually a reply or response. Well, what about the Canucks? That's making fun of Canadian white guys. I'm like, well, tell the white guys to rise up and tell people to stop. And I said, I bet if they did, they'd stop doing it.
Yeah. I have been asked by our other Indians, the India Indians, to share their event. They will be having a Bollywood bash.
Hey.
Diwali, and I'm sorry if I butchered that, which I think I did. Diwali Bollywood Bash, February 7th at 8 p.m. at the House of Loom, 1012 South 10th Street.
Shouldn't Cassie have done that?
I know, but they
that's not
just
in
sent
her
it to
corner.
me. They just sent it to me.
That's the other Indian.
And that's the other
This
Indians.
is the other Indian.
That's the other Indian. That's not me. I'm not gonna do that.
They're the dots. We're the feathers. And we have graduate assists in our office, and Manis and Mohet Bardwaj, both from India, and that's our joke. And we laugh at each other when we do it too, but nobody else can do it.
Just an FYI,
Mm-hmm.
Canucks, a French-Canadian chief, use a French-Canadian term used chiefly by Canadians themselves, often used as a derogatory term.
See? See, you know, I'm Mr. Mascot. See, what did I say?
You did.
That's
Is
why
that
I
what you
teach
want
the
us to
class.
call you now, Mr. Mascot?
Yes, sir.
I teach the class, Kenny.
Are you teaching it this
Can I
semester
say?
or next semester?
I teach it in the summers.
Is that the only time?
Yes, the only time.
Pourquoi? Why?
Because it gives me an opportunity to take them on the powwow circuit. Because part of it isn't just talking about mascots, but it's talking about, the purpose of the regalia, what it means, the significance of it. So I have people like my brother Taylor come in and talk about his regalia, what it means. And then we take them to an actual traditional celebration where they actually wear it the way it's supposed to be worn and say, look, this isn't about putting stuff on and prancing around doing tomahawk chop. It has actual significance. So it gives the student a chance to actually see regalia the way it's supposed to be worn and that significance to it. So that's part of it. So that's the only class that I actually, talk about culture to any degree. And I don't consider myself an expert in culture. That's how come I have, people, that are dancers and do make this stuff come in and talk about it.
Well, and you know what's funny for me? The strangest people. I'm waiting in line to go to the bathroom, chatting with the lady custodian and I asked her, how's your daughter doing in college? She said she had a great class. I said, really, what class was it? She says, well, Intro to Native Studies. I said, really? And because she knew I was an Indian, she said she loved it. I said, do you remember the teacher? She goes, I think it was a Mexican name. I said, was it Zendejas? She said, yes. I said, which one, Ed or Jordan? She said, well, are they both men? I said, no, Ed's the man, Jordan. She said, the man. She said, he took him to a powwow, and she was so excited. And then it rained, and she was devastated.
That was my mascot class.
And people will approach me out of the blue talking about what a great class it is.
It is a great class.
It's the mascot class.
Yeah.
I've taken every class Professor Ed has ever taught.
Ditto. I think I have too.
No, you didn't
know
take the
what?
boarding
I'm
school
a better
class.
person for it.
Come on, bring Cassie on camera.
I didn't take the boarding school class.
I didn't teach you back then.
Can you
That
make
was
it
like the
graduate
best
level?
one.
No,
Then I can't take it.
I
That was
know.
the best class, by far the boarding school class.
The boarding school class?
Because as an African American, it gives you, history is taught that we were the only ones who suffered. Nobody suffered like we did, and so a lot of African Americans carry that into their day-to-day life. Oh, nobody suffered like we did. But then to go to the boarding school and to see that these children were taken from their homes, they were taken from their land,
Yep.
they were brought somewhere and stripped of everything they have known and then made to assimilate, it was an eye-opener. And I
Yes.
think a lot of more people should take that boarding school class because you don't know until you see it.
Man, I need to have you make a commercial of that, what
Yeah.
you just said. What was I supposed to read here?
Right here, Chris Channel says.
Channel's talking about my head.
Chris Channel says he has the overly big head part covered of his Mr. Mascot costume. Chrissy Channel, you
That's not
tickle
funny.
me pink. I'm amused. I'm totally amused.
That's not
How
funny,
much-
Chris.
You know what? How much how much have you picked on my
Kenny,
little
that
Chrissy?
wasn't funny, was it?
Ooh, your own, no food for you. I hope you're happy. Monica's taking back the
Who
sandwich.
makes them sandwiches for you, Kenny? See, it wasn't funny. He didn't say it was funny.
Chris Channel, you need to come on the show sometime.
Yeah, I know. Where you guys at?
Yeah. Community, we will love. If you have something to come and talk about, please do.
We've had Liz.
As long as
Lovejoy.
me and Ed like you, we'll let you on. If you don't like you, too
Be
bad.
on a poster for suicide prevention.
Yes, she is.
Okay.
Our very own Cassie's going to be on a poster for suicide prevention.
I remember we were promoting that walk, and Cindy goes, "We're having a suicide walk on."
Oh.
No, suicide prevention walk.
That's actually another thing that's in the works in the planning. UNO may be hosting a themed anti-suicide prevention dance. Hey, maybe we could get him to play some oldies music. and
Maybe
all
we
sit
can
in
have a
front.
chair section where all the old people
Chair
can sit.
dancing. My favorite chair dancing was Gary Farmer. That's when Myrna was still with us.
Oh,
Elon
and the little
was.
ladies were
Yes.
No, that's
We
a,
had a riot.
that was
night.
embarrassing.
We did. We
No,
were
it was
gonna- We were
embarrassing.
going to take off our granny panties, throw them around our heads, and throw
Oh,
them
y'all
at
would have to
Gary.
pick me up off the floor.
No, Elon,
Oh, we had
Elon was
fun.
there and
Yes.
Myrna was there.
Elon was chair dancing. Myrna was getting ready to throw her panties. It was the best time. And now our friends are gone.
TMI.
That was the last big event Myrna got to go to.
And
It
Elon.
was. We had a riot. We were all 20 years old again, sitting at a concert.
In your mind.
Of
you were
course,
20.
though, when we were 20, we could have taken off our own cute little panties. I'd have to lay down. Someone would have to pull down my pants, help me, and then we'd have to have someone else throw them because I'd be tired.
Kenny, let me know when she's done.
He wanted you to sing and you wouldn't do it.
What, are they gonna throw us out in 2 or 3 minutes?
He wanted you to sing and you wouldn't do it.
Kenny, are we gonna get thrown out of here in 3 minutes?
Yeah,
They might not show up for it.
Who's supposed to be
they
here?
have to set up.
Remember, this is the Omaha room. I own this.
And from now on, yes, folks, we understand that we lose most of our listeners after an hour. So once we really get on the air at 3, our show will just be an hour. But since Kenny can't seem to handle anything even remotely show-related,
No one's here till 6.
they told me 4, so they must have to do a lot of
They don't
setup.
have it reserved.
They just.
But they must have to do a lot of setup.
They was
before
just
6.
talking like they knew they wanted to get us out of here. Like we were gonna trash the place.
Well, between events, that when they book rooms one after another, when they're done with this room, they got to come in, break down all these chairs, get rid of these tables, and get the room set up for another one. The only reason they could slide us in is because I didn't care if we had chairs or setup. All I asked for was 2 tables.
Oh, okay.
So whoever, they might have a big group in here next where they got to do
So
the
should we
food,
let
they
them
gotta
just
do
throw us
that.
out, Kenny?
I'd prefer not to. That might reflect badly on me.
Well, it's not like we have to really be out of here right at 4.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter because I'll just walk out. It's you guys and the equipment that's going to be the problem. How about Neil Young's fight
What's that?
with?
Kissy's here. Is she gonna be coming on?
Come on in.
Let's have a visit with
Kizzy.
Kizzy. Hey, talk about Neil Young.
What's going on with Neil Young?
He's at war with the Prime Minister of Canada because he's sticking up for the Indians.
No,
Well,
this is Kizzy. Kizzy Holmes. You know, her dad is a former heavyweight champion of the world, Larry Holmes.
they share a name only.
He's got big old heavyweight championship belt. I met him once, and you don't want to mess with him. 'Cause he'll tear
AKA
you
the
up.
belt he used to, AKA the belt he used to whoop us with.
Yeah.
It doesn't say championship
No,
on it.
but Kizzy is one of my students. She's taken the independent study, and one of her projects this year is to help us with the show. So have you seen how disorganized we are and dysfunctional? I think dysfunctional is the better word for it. Yeah, Kenny was thinking.
A lot tougher than you to change this.
Kenny was thinking dysfunctional. I said disorganized. I saw Kenny looking. No, dysfunctional. So it's your job. It's going to be your job
It's your job to keep him in line.
to provide us with
I have Kathy.
provide us with a little structure. Not a lot because I don't know if we can do that.
Just a
But
little.
just some parameters to work with. You see how it works.
Okay.
You know, like here I got these articles. Here's about we can talk about this, and you can go over there and smack Cindy.
Not even gonna do that. Not even gonna do that.
Okay, well, give
Cindy's
her a
my
mean,
native mother.
give her
Can't
a
do
mean
it.
look at least.
That would well.
Can
I
you
don't.
give
I don't look at Martha Holmes crazy, so I'm not gonna look at Cindy crazy either.
All right.
Same principle applies.
See, I'm nice to most people. It's just you that brings out the evil.
But that's going to be your role is to provide some function.
You have to
You take the
structure it.
disc.
Monica and I have been trying. I've been on a short term trying. Monica's been working on him since 16. Good luck.
Yeah.
And your grade is dependent upon it.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, listen.
No matter what he gives you, I know how to go in and change it.
That's why Cindy's my mom.
You know, she really has the power because I don't know. So you're back for your senior year.
Yes, I am.
All right, what are you going to graduate in? What's your major?
Declared your minor, babe?
Yes.
Good.
Native American Studies is my minor. African American Studies is my major. I love my Native brothers and sisters and my African brothers and sisters.
So you got to mix in the Latino thing in here too, don't you?
Yeah, we might as well put a little Latino love in there.
Might as well.
Black love, brown pride. Let's get it together.
Kizzy has
You're the
all them
Latino
bases
love,
covered.
You're the Latino law.
Yeah, but you know,
What?
I'm not. I don't teach Latino studies.
How come?
But you
They
should.
don't want me.
I believe it.
I'm lucky to be on Native studies. So you're gonna graduate this
Yes, sir.
April?
Yes.
Oh, we have this. We have the honoring ceremony.
I can't
You
wait.
can't wait. Okay.
Can't wait
You know,
for my
and
beautiful star quilts. Can't wait.
It's a Pendleton blanket.
That's okay.
Not Star Quilt.
Okay. Well, I really want a star quilt.
You're
So
gonna
just,
you're
you
gonna
know,
have
for my Native brothers and
You're gonna
sisters
have-
out
Then,
there.
honey, I'll start sewing, but it's gonna be 5 to 7 years.
either
That's
that you're gonna have to buy some raffle tickets at powwow time and try to win it.
That's cool. I could do that
No one
too.
has donated a star quilt.
No one has donated a Star Quilt out there. You guys,
Monka moved away.
Monka move. We got to work on that. But back to Kizzy. So you, what are you gonna do after that? Do you know?
Get my master's,
In.
probably communications.
Oh, so
Yeah,
you know what? Maybe it ought to be your job to help us go viral.
I could work on that.
You know, have your 5 friends tell their 5 friends, their 5
We
friends.
have to do the show topless. We have to have it. And that's the only thing I can think of.
We're gonna get put off the air. The dean's gonna come in here and kick the camera over. We're gonna get put off the air immediately.
You know, Kenny, I quit. I resign right now.
Like, yeah, Kenny, let me turn my mic off.
I'm not coming back.
That'll be our topless show.
Oh, no.
Cassie's
No,
corner topless.
no.
Should we change the topic?
Please, from Topless Show.
No, so that's part of taking
If
this.
you want to go viral, you got to do something big. Moon the camera right before the end of the show. Maybe we'll go viral.
That speech.
No, see, I can do my RG3
No.
rant.
No, please promise us no rants.
Kenny, that would go viral, wouldn't it?
I think it would go viral.
I think it would.
Yeah, but you know what? It'd go viral with Gray Wolf and every African American in the free world coming after you.
No, if I ran this past Kizzy, I bet if she knew the context upon which it was given, I think she'd be fine with it.
Do you think she'd be fine with it?
Yeah, I think if she heard the whole thing, why it was
Being
said.
fine with it is one thing, but hearing the word over and over yelled, because you were on a roll.
There's
Look on
You were
there's
on
a
a roll.
story behind it.
I was.
Mascots. It was how would you feel if it was the Nashville? Mm-hmm. And
Ah.
he said that word 17 times, and the madder he got, the more he said it, and the louder he said it. Kenny and I and Sherman were all looking at him going,
You know what? You know
to
why?
get me
But
shot.
I understand.
Poor kitty.
You know why? Do you know why I said it?
Yes, I absolutely know why you said
No.
that.
Here's why. You know who RG3 is, don't you?
Yes.
And he had just come out and made the statement that because the newspapers were starting to turn on his team. You know, he's lockstep, tight with his owner because he's the one that writes checks for him. And he made the statement that we're under the tyranny of political correctness. How everybody's making him change their name, and he's sticking up for his owner for keeping living under the tyranny of political correctness. It made me mad.
And then he made a T-shirt that was half his face and half the Indian face.
No, so it made me mad. He's sitting there, saying how you guys, you Indians are just trying to be politically correct. I'm like, and you have to understand the legal argument that the Washington Redskins were making to keep their name. And essentially what they, this is kind of review for the mascot class, but essentially what they were saying was, no, Redskin, it doesn't mean, it's not a bad word anymore.
Oh.
It's a good word. It means honor, tradition, hard work. So it might have been a derogatory term way back in when they were Indians or savages. But today it's a good thing. And it means,
And the deal is, white people don't get to decide.
no, that was my point.
Right, and when the term is no longer derogatory or not.
They were saying, no, we've made the decision that it's not derogatory. It doesn't matter what you say. We say it's a good thing, so you just ought to shut up and, and like it. And RG3 was like, oh yeah, you guys are trying to be politically correct. It's a good thing now.
And here's
So-
the thing.
so my point
I've
was-
also seen RG3 in interviews. He is not the sharpest berry on the tree.
No,
Period.
by far.
I don't know
He's
how
not.
he got through college.
He's not.
To be
But-
honest.
Well,
my-
we know how he got through.
Yeah.
But my point was that, all right, I'm gonna decide to change the name or the meaning behind the word. I'm gonna say it, nigger.
Okay. I'm gonna say it.
When he tells the story, see?
See, rather than it being a derogatory term,
Right.
I'm gonna decide to change it, and it doesn't mean a bad thing anymore. It means a good thing because I decide I'm gonna change it. So you can't feel offended or hurt or think ill of me because I decided it's a good name and you should like it. So I'm going to change the name, the meaning of the word nigger to mean heretofore African American quarterbacks, that are living and fighting the tyranny of political correctness. So RG3, today, I'm going to call you a nigger. And that's a good thing because you're fighting against the tyranny of political correctness. And that's a good thing. Heretofore, as of today, nigger means a good thing. Because that's what he's saying by telling us that, oh no, redskin isn't a bad thing, it's a good thing and you should be happy about it. So he needs to understand how that paradigm can be shifted
Right.
and whether he appreciates that or not.
Well, of course he doesn't, because he's speaking from the aspect of and sorry, sports fans, a well-paid,
Yep.
pampered, spoiled
Who can't do
athlete.
anything else?
And that's all you can do.
Yep.
Now, people that have went to college, earned their degrees, got their masters, PhDs, and went forward with their education, at a point, you become educated enough that you need to do better and be better. So to say that the term redskin is no longer derogatory, like you said, Professor Ed, is like saying the word nigger is no longer derogatory. And it's okay that we use it, and it's okay that we say it day to day. But if you walked up on RG3 in the street and called him a nigger, it would be a fight. It would be all over the national
You know what,
news.
though?
He would assault
You
you.
walk up onto me and call me a redskin, it's gonna be
a fight. It's gonna be a fight.
You know, so why is it more offensive when it goes that way than when it comes our way? The problem is when it comes our way, we're ignored in America, we're marginalized in America, so nobody cares that they're racist to us.
Right.
You could sit on the radio, you could go on national TV and say redskin 50 times and nobody would say boo. Ed goes on TV, says the N-word one time.
See, she
We're
won't
gonna
even
have-
say it. She'll
I
say
can't.
N-word.
I just,
Right.
it's too painful of a word to hear or to say for me. But you would probably have lawsuits, civil liberties, ACLU would be after you.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody would be after you. But it's
It'd be
okay
a
to
show.
go on national TV and say redskin 50 times, because we don't matter. There's still Indians in America. Ooh,
Right, you still
surprise.
exist? They still
Yeah.
make you?
Yeah.
Really? Like, I
They didn't
mean,
kill you all.
So bottom line, I was upset at RG3 and his just cavalier attitude of, oh no, you guys, it's a good thing. It's no political correctness. You guys just ought to just knock it off. And as long as that check cashes, I'm call me Redskin all day. But if I start calling you nigger all day, his tune will change
it would
real
totally
quick.
change. His tune would totally change.
So
but-
that was my point
That's
in my
his ignorance.
rant.
Kizzy completely understands.
I know, but then a person, and I'm just gonna be honest. I'm gonna go out here on a limb. Any African American, any minority that heard Professor Ed's argument and does not see it in the validity that it sits in, you need to kind of reevaluate how you look at things, your worldview on things.
Well, and here's the thing. It's a painful word, even for me. It's
Right.
a painful word to hear. It's a painful word for African Americans to hear. How do they think we feel about the R word, I guess? If I can't
Yeah.
say the N word, I'm going to quit saying the R word. How do they think we feel? If someone ever called my grandchild a redskin, I'd cut their head off.
Right.
you know, but,
Or equally as bad is the term
or Omaha.
half-breed.
You know what? I have been called half-breed at this school by a Native American
Wow.
that I hope never to see again, but that's.
Well, see,
that's
see,
another
to
one.
me, that's all part of the educational
Mm-hmm.
process.
Exactly.
And I say this in my mascot class, is like, the whole point is to try to educate, and then you decide what you're gonna do with it.
Right.
Now, I can't tell people what to think and or influence them in terms of what their worldview. Hopefully I can, but I'm not gonna, they're gonna have to make that decision for themselves.
Right.
And if they agree with, the points I'm making, maybe it will. If they don't, and they don't wanna, then it won't.
But to me, what's the point of coming to college if for no other reason than to educate yourself and expand and open your mind? The first time I went to college, I went to Wayne State in northern Nebraska, and I had never seen a Native American person to know that you were Native American. So when I met my best friend, shout out Trina Willow and the kids, mwah,
You know what? You need to tell her she has to listen.
I'm gonna make her
I have a
listen.
kid at
I'm gonna make her
Wayne State
listen.
Right now who's coming here, the diversity is appalling.
It is. It's appalling.
It's appalling.
It's appalling. It was maybe
The recruiter
4
said
Native
this-
Americans.
I went up there with the group from Winnebago and Walt Hill, and I asked the question, I said, what's the diversity like at Wayne State? She said, well, you'll have to go find a football team.
Because that's where it is.
And afterwards, I had a chat with her about, as a recruiter.
You should not say
probably
that.
not- And I said, because I'm a recruiter, and I would never say that. You say things like, there's very little diversity on the campus, that's why we welcome you.
Exactly.
Something like that, but when they said that to the Indian kids, they all went, oh, yeah?
And when I asked about, when I went, there was even no question of diversity. It was, my parents were like, you're going to Wayne because it's closer, we're dropping you off. And then I get dropped off and I walk out of my dorm and I'm like, I felt like I was in Mayberry.
Yeah.
There was no one there that looked like me, and everyone else was
And the
looking at me like I was an
townspeople looked at you
alien.
funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I was an alien. And then I went to Pomida one day and I needed some hair oil.
That would be like a grocery store.
Yes, like
general store.
kind of like a dollar store,
Yeah.
grocery store mix. I go to Pomida and I said, I need some coconut oil for my hair. And the lady looked at me and she said, well, we don't sell oil. And then she said, well, wait a minute, yeah, we do. And she took me into the cooking aisle and she handed me a bottle of olive oil. I went straight to the manager and said, ma'am, there's enough African Americans in this town that this is what you need to get. And I literally wrote a list. ISO Plus Oil Sheen. We need some combs. We need some brushes. We need some relaxers. Not perms, relaxers. You need to sell clippers here because we have guys here that cut their own hair. About a month later, and God bless Pomida, they had cleared out half of the health and beauty aisle and had hair care products for us. But had I not said anything, had I just sat back and was like, oh my gosh, this is where I go to school, I would have been up there looking like a maniac because I couldn't do my own hair.
Yeah.
Wayne in no way is prepared for minorities.
Yeah.
And they really don't plan for minorities. And Winnebago and the Omaha reservation are right there. It's like 15 minutes away, easy.
But I've had this kid and I are in constant touch in Facebook. He's lonely.
I'm sure
He feels like people stare at him.
they
He
do.
feels like nobody understands who he is. And there's a Native American in the multicultural center up there. So I don't know why we don't reach out more and help our own.
Because sometimes we as minorities are able to get into an atmosphere where there is not a lot of minority presence. And instead of trying to pull the minority presence in, we assimilate to where we are. And then when other minorities come in, I've already assimilated now, so I don't need to look at you.
You can tell she's taking some classes. She
Right
knows
on,
that.
right on.
Yeah, did you hear my
You
terminology?
ready. You ready. So bring that kind of, shape us up a little bit. That's sure.
Just mold it up, just
I'd
mold it
shake
up.
him up. I'm good.
Yeah, she's the mold. Cindy
I'm
is
shaped.
the mold.
I'm shaped, Deb. You're still possibly moldable. I'm rock.
We're gonna have to give
I've had
Miss
2
Monica next to
ancestors
you.
in I am no longer moldable.
There's plenty of mold on her.
I deserve every bit of mold that's on this fine.
You know what?
You are very
Mold like
deserving of it.
penicillin, honey, make
Yeah.
you feel better.
Yep.
All right, well, I think we've probably said and done enough damage for the day.
You
Kenny,
said the N-word 17 times.
yeah, I got,
Your day's been made.
Hopefully campus security isn't
I
outside
know.
waiting for us in the front of the building.
Members of campus security.
I got a mini rant out.
Mr. Freeman's probably waiting down front.
I have a mini rant out.
Be like, Mr. Freeman, it was Ed.
And Miss Fairgood, she's down there with him.
Yeah, waiting for me and everybody in the office waiting for me
Right.
as I walk in the door.
So long as you understand it in the context of what it was given.
Absolutely, I totally do.
She
I
does
totally do.
because she understands the fight. She understands the problem. She understands Native Americans. To people who are just listening to this show, which clearly nobody may not.
That's why I feel free to say it.
If we were viral and we went out there would be white people out there that would not have gotten that conversation.
And they would have looked at
all.
me like I was crazy, like, oh my
Or
God, she's
African
letting,
Americans either.
he's
Because once
calling
we
her a
hear the word,
nigger.
things shut off. Yeah. I mean, even for me, once I hear that word, my mouth drops open and I think, oh dear God, what's coming next?
But being an African American, I hear the word and I'm waiting to hear what you say afterwards. I need to know the in-game context when I hear that word, because some people just say it and you're saying it to be derogatory. And God bless you, I'll pray for you. But if you're saying it in the context of, look, you're using this term for Native Americans, and that's wrong, and you're trying to tell people that it's okay. If I used this derogatory African American term, how would that make you feel? It's like holding a mirror up to somebody and saying, look at yourself. You see what you're doing? You're doing it wrong. It's not correct.
The maddest I ever saw my mother, well, one of the maddest times, my mom was a little crazy. But one of the maddest times I ever saw, every once in a while, my dad coached football for the University of Nebraska at Lincoln. So every once in a while, a football player needed a home and we'd have them stay with us. And quite generally, they were African American. There was a note on the front door that said nigger lover. My mother.
She said it. She
out
said
that
the
front
word.
door. She went down the block. She was banging on doors. Did you do this? Who saw this? We never found out who did it.
But they
that's
never
when
did
my
it
mom
again.
And I was young. She sat me down and she explained what those terms meant. Redskin, N-word, all those words. She sat me down and explained to me what they meant and why I was never allowed to use them.
Right. But then that gives you that proper context. I mean, come on. I was named for a character in the book Roots. So my mother and my father were very, very instrumental in me knowing as a kid, this is who you are. These are terms people will use in reference to you, but we raised you above and beyond that. You're better
Because
than
who's
that.
going to mess with Larry Holmes?
Oddly,
Not
I
nobody.
wouldn't mess with Larry
I
Holmes.
also was named after an African American woman. Right before my birth, my father was visiting a gentleman's club,
Oh.
and the dancer who used a pole
Huh.
was named Lucinda.
Oh.
My dad loved the name, thus Lucinda. So I am named after an African American stripper.
Well, all right.
I know, right?
Kizzy,
I knew we were sisters.
I
knew it.
was not named after an African American stripper.
Okay, you were not named after an African American dancer?
Explains my
There's not one named Zendejas?
No.
Okay.
That's my knowledge.
Explains my talent.
Eduardo. But I think we've thoroughly abused the
Everybody
airwaves
enough.
today.
I think anytime Kizzy and I are together, we could embarrass you eventually till you cry.
No.
Close to it.
Yeah,
We
close
might
to
get you
it.
close.
Never happened.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks,
folks.
everybody.
See you next
See ya
week.
at
Regular as
3
rain.
o'clock. Kenny, 3 o'clock.
Regular as rain.
We're ready, Kenny.
See you next week.
Later,
So
everybody.
long.